Hi everyone and welcome back to the Crafty Yellow Camper, and we're going to make another card today using this lovely Beautiful World stamp set, which is one of the new releases in the Stampin Up annual catalogue. Absolutely perfect for men's cards. It comes as part of a suite. You can buy it on its own, you can buy it as a bundle with the dies that cut out some of these elements like the ink pot, the feather, the globes, the globe stand. And there are a few other dies as well in the package, but it also comes as part of a suite with some gorgeous designer series papers, some suede effect ribbon, and an embossing folder which gives us sort of a crumpled paper effect. Okay, so this is a really quick and easy card, and I am using one of our new in colours for the card base, and this is Cinnamon Cider. Don't actually have the ink pads yet. They're now available, so they're on my order, but the 5 new ink colours are really gorgeous. This is the first time in a long time where I've seen the new ink colours and instantly fallen in love with all 5. Usually there's 1 or 2 that sort of grow on me, but this time they are all absolutely gorgeous. In actual fact, I thought this was the colour that I would probably use the least, and it's actually been the one that's been on my desk the most. Okay, so what I did was my card base is half of an UK A4 sheet. So if you're watching this from anywhere that isn't the UK and your sheets are slightly larger, it's literally cut in half lengthways. So for the UK it's cut at 10.5 centimeters, the whole length of an A4 sheet. And then I have cut a piece of the designer series paper, which is gorgeous. This is one of the sheets which has got compasses on one side in one of our new in colours called Misty Moonlight, and then on the other side it's got a bit of a mix of sort of soft suede, possibly early espresso, and some sort of, I'm not sure if that's grey or crumb cake. Anyway, that's the side we're going to use with this sort of gridded paper. I will just bring the pack of papers over to show you if you didn't see them on my unboxing video, because they are absolutely beautiful. Some of them have got a brass metallic foiled effect. So let me just lift these out of the package and then you can see. So this one's got this really nice sort of foil grid on it and sort of a, I hate to say the word wishy-washy background because that makes it sound awful, but it's not, a sort of almost like watercolour background. And on the other side we've got this green sort of elements of the world. So you get 2 of each of the designs in 12 by 12 sheets. This one's got these absolutely gorgeous, hope you're picking this up, okay, absolutely gorgeous globes on one side and these lovely green compasses on the other side, which I think might be Mossy Meadow, but I'm not, oh no, Old Olive probably actually. Okay, and then this one, wouldn't this be fabulous for a scrapbook page layout, 12 by 12 with these gorgeous copper circles, almost like a spider's web, and on the other side of that one it's got some sort of text in a sort of a grungy fashion. And actually there's a die in the die set that has got a very similar text on it to just sort of emboss. It doesn't cut out, it just embosses onto your cardstock. So that's 2 of those. And then this one is a map of part of Europe. And where are we? We're up the top here somewhere. Oh, here we are. There's the UK. There's London, and I'm round about there. Okay, and then we go off into Germany and Austria. Okay, and that one's got this really nice bumblebee yellow, which is another one of our new in colours on the background, on the back, I should say. And then we've got this one, which is one of the sheets I've already used, which is why there's only one of these. So this has got these lovely circles on it and what looks like almost an astrology picture. I'm not sure if it is, but it does. Oh yes, it is. Look, there, it says Aries there, Andromeda there. So this is sort of you know, what you'd see in the sky. Oh yes, look, there's a horse there. Can't really read what it says, equi something or other. So yeah, that's that one. And then on the other side is another map, but this is China by the look of it, North America. And then this is the one that we're going to use today with the compasses on one side and that sort of grungy distressed effect on the grid on the other side. They are absolutely gorgeous. I managed to order one pack with my suite that I ordered on pre-order, which you can do as a demonstrator. And I can see I'm going to be adding a new pack onto my next order. So we're going to use this side, so I'm just going to stick that down. Actually, I'm going to use my tape runner for that. There's no weight to this. Now, Snail has actually retired, and we have got a new form of tape runner, but unfortunately it's been held up in manufacture and isn't available yet, which is why I'm still using Snail. Okay. So we're just going to map that on there. Oh, that was an epic fail, wasn't it? Because I've pressed it down. Now the beauty of Snail is if you haven't pressed too hard, you can peel it back off. I like all of you that watch my videos to see that you're not the only ones that do these kind of things. Right, there we go. It won't show when we put it down properly level. Okay. So I've just cut this so there's a tiny border. There we go. There you go. Nobody would ever know, would they? Only you and me, and you're not going to tell anybody, are you? Okay, so that's stuck on there. And then what I've done is I've cut a piece of soft suede cardstock, and that is cut to fit across the card. So that's 10.5 centimetres by, I think I mixed my measurements and did it at 1.5 inches. I've got a bit of a naughty habit of doing that. Okay, and we're just going to stick some dimensionals behind that. I've embossed it with our new sort of aged crumpled paper effect. It's not what it's called, but you know what I mean. If you look at my other video, I'll tell you the proper name of it. But it gives this sort of effect, you know, where you used to spritz your cardstock to break down the fibres and then screw it up and then straighten it out again. And I've seen quite a few people doing a sort of a distressed edge on this. And the easiest way to do that is to just sort of run your scissors. It seems really cruel, but to run your scissors along the edge. I've put dimensionals on mine already, which is why it just stuck to my hand. So you can literally just open out your scissors and go along. Doesn't matter if it gets a bit screwed up. After all, it's embossed to look like it's crumpled. There we go. And I've seen some people have sort of torn bits out of it, but I think I'm going to leave that at that little bit of distressing. And we're going to stick this across. Now, this paper has got basically grid lines on it. So if you are a bit OCD about lining stuff up, obviously that's quite useful. Now, I've cut a circle from Cinnamon Cider, which is the same cardstock as the base, and this is cut with the circle die that comes with these dies, so it goes around this globe effect. It's just slightly bigger. I think I measured it, and I think it's just under a 2-inch circle. So if you haven't got the dies, you could cut a 2-inch circle, or you could fussy cut the globe and then stick it down and cut a circle slightly bigger. I'm no good at that, which is why I've got the dies. Okay, so we're going to mount that brass. There we go. Again, this is our lovely new brass foil sheet. 2 12 by 12 sheets in a pack, so a little bit goes quite a long way when you're only using it for small little elements like this. And then we are going to stick a couple of dimensionals onto the back of this, but I'm going to place it across there, so I want it to have the dimensionals in the right place. And I've just realised I've missed a step on this. Goodness me, you are seeing me take things apart a lot today, aren't you? So I'm just going to very carefully, again, excellent thing about dimensionals, unless you've really put your weight on them, they peel off, and as you can see, that's done absolutely no damage to the paper. So I had cut myself a piece of this gorgeous suede effect ribbon, and I wanted that to go across this piece here, like that. I can probably just catch the edges. Now, I wouldn't do it like that normally. What I would do, actually I'm going to do it. Oh no, I won't be able to get it off. But stick that down before you stick the dimensional on. I'm just going to push mine in so there's still some stick behind that. And then we're going to line it up. Do you know what? I'm going to go rogue. I'm not going to line it up. I'm going to stick it halfway. Oh, goodness me. Out of my comfort zone. And then we're going to mount our globe on top of that, which will then obviously hold that ribbon down a bit more. Okay, there we go. That's that. And then I've got You Make the World a Better Place as a sentiment, and I've actually used one of the dies from the Poppy Labels dies to cut that out. That sentiment fitted really nicely in there. But I am going to show you one of our new punches if you wanted to do a different sentiment. And this is sort of a trio of tags. And there are 2 designs and there are 3 sizes. So let me just grab a piece of cardstock and I will show you how that works. Okay, so I'm just using a piece of my scrap cardstock. It's a really good way of using it up. And you can see there are 3 channels in this on each side, and they measure, the widest one is 1 inch wide, and then 7/8 of an inch, and then 3/4 of an inch. They go down in increments. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this cardstock down. Just move that card out of the way. So I'm just randomly cutting a piece now, and we'll trim it down in a little while. So that's just slightly bigger than 1 inch, so I'm just going to have to trim that down. So it's a brilliant way to use all your offcuts that we get when we cut panels for going onto card fronts or panels for inside of cards, that kind of thing. Okay, so that is now 1 inch wide, and with all our punches, to open them, you turn them over and slide that button and it will pop open. And you can see that that will fit, she says. Now I must have been slightly off the inch, so let's just give that another trim. You do have to get it exact. Yeah, I can see that I was slightly off. Not the easiest way of trimming paper, cardstock. Just that little tiny sliver look made all the difference, hopefully. Okay, so you can see now, yeah, that's much better. It sits in that top groove and will slide along. So let's just grab a sentiment from the stamp set. So I think we might go with Adventure Awaits, which is this one here, because that's a nice slim one. Again, get it straight by lining it up on your grid paper and then bringing your block down onto it. And I think we'll do that in early espresso. And we're going to sort of pop it somewhere in the middle of that piece of cardstock, and I will show you why. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this. Now I think because it's a man's card, I think we'll go for the squarer punch on this rather than the sort of more scrolly one, and we're just going to slide it in as far as it will go. No, it's not in. There we go. Slide it in as far as it will go, and then punch down, and then we're going to turn it round and then slide the other end in along that channel. Sometimes you just have to give it a little bit of a wriggle to push it right the way in, and I think we're there. Okay, and you can see that gives that really nice effect to the ends of your sentiment. Now I knew that was going to happen, it's too long. So what we're going to do is we're just going to chop it down a little bit, and I'm just going to bring in my little trimmer. Unfortunately, we don't sell these trimmers. These were part of the Celebration offering. If you signed up as a demonstrator during Celebration in March. Right, that's the right length once we've taken the ends off. Okay, so we'll just get rid of that. You never know, Stampin' Up might bring it in at some point for sale. Okay, so we're just going to slide that back in again. And again, this is the beauty of this. You can stamp it on a random piece of card and then cut it to the right size, which I should have measured before we started this. There you go. You can see how easy it is to cut down. Turn it over and slide the button back to lock it. We'll just get rid of those edges. And now, that is a bit too white for my liking, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a soft suede ink pad. Okay, and just a little section of sponge, literally a little section of sponge, and we're just going to give that a little bit of a sponge over, just to, not to obscure the greeting, but just to make it less white, because obviously there is sort of grey in the paper rather than white. That would just be too stark, and it will give it a little bit of a contrast to the paper. There we go. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Okay, and that will fit over there quite nicely. And then something else I sometimes like to do is to use a lighter colour. So I'll get that soft suede back out again. Apologies for those of you that just had to look at my bingo wings. And then we are going to go back in with the feather, I think. I can persuade it out of the stamp case. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's pop this on a long block. I must tidy my desk up, it's getting a little bit messy. Okay, so we'll put that flat, right way round. Julia would be good. Okay, we'll mount that up, and we're just gonna, my soft suede ink pad needs re-inking, so you sort of get a stamped off effect, and just to be sure we can stamp it off. There you go, that's quite nice and pale. And we're just gonna stamp that across the greeting, so you get the image behind it, but it doesn't obscure the greeting at all, which I actually think is quite nice way of just adding a little bit of decoration extra. And then we're going to put a couple of dimensionals onto the back of this greeting. Okay, again, use your thumbnail in the middle if you find it hard to get the backs off. And I will have to ask you to excuse the state of my fingernails. I've been gardening and also helping my dad put the rigging back on his boat, and he oils it all, and I cannot for love nor money get it out from under my nails. Okay, and we're just going to slide this up towards the top of the card, and there we are. So that's quite a quick card, not too much stamping to do, a little bit of die cutting, but making the most of these gorgeous papers, and hope you like that. So that's all for me for today, and I will see you again soon. If you'd like to order any of the new items out of the annual catalogue, it is now live, so all you need to do is drop me a message, and I'll be popping an order in at the end of the weekend. Today is Friday. I'll be popping an order in on Sunday, so if there's anything that you've seen that you'd like to get, give me a shout and I'll add it onto my order for you. That's all for now. Happy stamping. Bye.